With the taper, though, it might taper up my thing better.
Probably get wrapped up in your fucking ponytail.
Probably.
Right?
That's fall if you're sitting in the fucking back seat.
Okay, first things first. All right, our first part is
What?
what?
First things first.
All right, first things first. First step is going to be our output shaft support, and that needs to be torqued to 150 inch-pounds. Like so. And that's inch-pounds, not foot-pounds, okay? Just so we're on the same page. Foot-pounds is a lot more than inch-pounds by several inches. Yeah, I tell you what, you really want to keep an eye on your torque values on this stuff, because you're putting a steel bolt into aluminum, and steel usually always wins. We did kind of scuff this bore, okay, with a little bit of Scotch-Brite. So, okay, next we're going to go on to, I believe, our sprag, the rollers and springs, the reaction clutch or whatever, sprag, whatever you want to call it. So we'll go ahead and get set up for that, and that'll be next. Oh, okay, what? All right. Here we go. Shut up.
Action.
All right, next is we're going to install our inner race. And usually I tack it up with some assembly lube. Anytime you're working with a transmission, I guess, and it's kind of laid out, horizontally, you might want to tack some of the parts just so they don't slide out and away from you. So there's our inner race. Okay. Now we're going to go around and go ahead and throw a roller in each one of the pockets. And you bet. Okay, once the rollers are installed, you want to go ahead and pinch your springs and then slide them between the roller and the retainer. All right. And you want the spring pushing the roller kind of toward the tight area of the retainer. All right. So yeah, the spring went over the top kind of peg of the retainer. Needed to take it out and do it over again. There we go, that's better. So it'll get a little more difficult toward as you get closer to the end. But little pick comes in handy. And then we'll actually go ahead and spin that inner race. See how it's kind of tight right here between the two. Yeah, that's not going to go in yet. Okay, while prepping for the rear servo, I noticed a casting defect. I don't know if you can see the very tip of my pick, with those two little black areas down there. That's actually it's a casting flaw. But, I checked, on the outside. It doesn't go to the outside. So, anyway, just something to keep an eye out for. All your parts aren't perfect. So, kind of keep an eye out for that. All right. So, we've applied a little assembly grease to our servo assembly. The lipsy on this actually faces down, so might put up a little bit of a struggle, but or maybe not. Not too bad. Nope, she went right in. So not too bad. Next goes your spring and the retainer. Then I'll need to get the inner snap ring. And this should be easy enough to go in with. What the hell ever. Every fucking time with this easy son of a bitch. What are you laughing about? motherfucker in there. I'm gonna go get the next part ready.
Okay.
What the fuck? Cope said it should just take 30 seconds.
Cope's a liar. I mean, does it really need to go in there, though?
I guess not really that much.
Oh, we're going to have to edit the hell out of this to make us look cool.
Somebody will.
Work it in there. Oh.
Why is it I can't see a damn thing? There, did I go?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it snapped in.
It's getting there.
I don't think it is.
That end is in. So let's try to get the other end in.
Yeah, you gotta kind of go around this way though, right?
Yeah.
But it felt like that just popped out though.
It did.
Well, son of a...
There you go. There you go. There. And just like that. There. See, that's in there. Just like
Not
that.
bad, right?
Yeah, that was quick.
Worked out pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. All right, silence that for a second, will you?
Fucking Christ. Bruce Willis. Come on, man.
It's Bruce. I've
Bruce
seen
Willis.
that. It kind of sucked. All right, here we go. We're gonna throw this thing together. All right, so first we already have our band in place. All right, and now we're gonna stick our rear drum in place, turning it in a clockwise manner. Trying to get it to engage with the uvuatical inner race, I guess, in there. What in the hell? Why? I'm gonna back that all the way off. There we go. Getting her. There we go. That's what a guy wants to hear. You turn it clockwise, you can't turn it counterclockwise. All right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess we can kind of throw this on here somewhat like that. Yeah, a little bit simpler than the 727.
Yep.
Yeah, the band just hits that the band anchor pin down below, and then it just contacts the band adjustment screw. All right. Okay, here we go. Inserting rear annulus. The butt of all Torqueflite jokes.
Oh.
What the hell ever. Rear planetary, will you please? There we go. It's in place. You bet.
And you know, just to test Haley's here, she was out by the curb,
Yeah.
taking a piss. I honked, and it actually scared her.
Really?
So she's aware of Dodge horns, but not of people's voices.
Jay,
What?
where'd you find it?
It was in the socket drawer because I looked at sockets first.
Wait, you're telling me Jason Bacon put something in the wrong drawer of my toolbox? No. You can't. What do you want?
All right, here we go. All right, next, installing the sun gear into our rear planetary assembly. All right, just like that. Pretty easy. Next, front planetary assembly. And I've just got it all together. I'm gonna go ahead and rock it back and forth and get it in place. Or maybe not. What were you doing? Is that coming out?
Yeah.
I thought you were effing with me.
No.
There we go.
Literally saving the day.
So we do have a little thrust washer here, and depending on your year, it could be way totally different. So, but in our case, it requires this one here. Next, we got a little snap ring that goes on the very tip of the output shaft, and that should complete this half of the tranny. All right, quiet. Here we go. I don't know if I can get the right angle on this. Well, we'll try it. Wait, what? No, Ty, you're okay. There we go. And that's in place. There we go. We're done. We're done with half the transmission, basically. Not really. All right.
Good job, Jay.
All right, we're going to go ahead and throw our kickdown servo in place. All right. Well, damn it. There we go. Here you go. Yeah, in the case of a 904, you can probably get in it with your fingers. But the 727, there's quite a bit more spring tension. And you might want to consider maybe a C-clamp, or they do make a nice specialized tool for this, which is the best way to go, I guess. But sometimes we use a valve spring compressor too, and that works really well. So, but in the case of the 904, you can usually get in it with your fingers. I struggled a little bit, but anyway. So in the case of a stock rebuild, you're going to want to, this might have a spring on top or in bottom. You're just going to want to replace it the way that it came out. In our case, we're going to go with the blocker rod that'll block this accumulator. Okay, so it'll be blocked in the upward position. And the valve body should not come into contact with this. So, but we can actually check the dimension of this. It should be 2.9, I think. Oh, what the hell? Maybe that's not it.
What the fuck?
All right, so that checks out fine, but we do want to keep an eye on this when we go to install the valve body. Make sure that it's not gonna come into contact with the top of our accumulator. It's in there pretty tight, but it's because it's, it's D rings instead of, ceiling rings, but that seems really tight. So, I'm going to go ahead and kind of recheck on that. Okay, so our blocker rod measures right at 3 inches, and I don't know where I read it, but I believe the blocker rod should be 2.2 2.9 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and whack a 1/10 off of this. I did check with the accumulator in place, and the valve body was actually hitting the little dome part of it. So it was just something you want to check. I mean, you don't want to go bolt this thing down with this kind of pushing up on it, so it just won't be good. So I'm going to go ahead and work on this, and I'll be back. All right, so anyway, yeah, like I said, this needs to be, I don't know where I read it, but I think it's like 292 or 290 or whatever. But I went ahead and it was at 3 inches, and it didn't fit real well against that. And this might not have been seated; it's kind of hard to tell. But I went ahead and whacked a 1/10 off of this. So, and this isn't rocket science. If you need to make your own blocker rod, you can probably make one out of a bolt. These are nice; they're only $5, and they're made out of aluminum. So I usually pick up one. So. There we go. So that time I actually positively felt it hit the blocker rod. I'm going to go ahead and check it against our valve body and see what we got going on. And that's a lot better. So it's right against the main casting. So yeah, I like that. So there we go. That's that. Here, you probably can't tell, but we got our Torqueflite kind of set at a downward angle, and that'll help this go together a little bit easier. So I got both clutch assemblies together. All right, so we'll just let's go ahead and rock them and twist and turn them. All right, until she goes down. There we go. So as we did with our rear band, you need to soak it in some ATF, and this is our front band. And in order to do that, we're gonna have to unwrap it first. So I'm not sure exactly where we got this one at, but it's not gonna get damaged. There's no shipping damage to it, I'm sure. But what the hell? That's part number. It says best right on it. Wow. Nice. Made in the US too. All right, we're gonna go ahead and install our band. All right. So to do so, we opted for a heavy duty strut to engage the band, but for some reason I ordered a 727 one. This is the 904 one. Okay, so we're gonna throw this in. We're gonna throw the stocker in for right now. This isn't going in right away, so we can order, you know, a good heavy duty one and go ahead and install it. And it won't be that hard to do with the transmission out of the vehicle yet. So, so here's our band. All right, so you want to make sure that if you have an offset assembly like this, you want to make sure that you put the offset toward the rear of the transmission. All right. So, he's a fighter. It's going to hold pretty good. All right, we're getting ready to throw our pump in place. You want to make sure you get your gasket in first. All right. I usually throw a little bit of lube around this area here so that it just helps the pump seal kind of go into place. And then we've got an assembly kind of aid here. That's just a piece of 5/16, just dowel or whatever, and that'll help guide this in, because that gasket, that seal will be really tight, you know, so you won't have much of an opportunity to really turn it into place once it's installed. So you want something like this. And I've seen guys use like a Phillips screwdriver or whatever, and they'll stick it through one of the bolt holes, and that works too. So we usually do it this way. So. So your kit should come with a set of new sealing rings. They're just kind of like a vinyl coated wash or whatever. All right. Okay, these are going to get torqued to 175 inch-pounds. All right, that's inch-pounds, not foot-pounds. Duh. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll get an end play. Or we'll check our end play if we have any. All right, so here we are at the back of the tranny. It's the name of Jeremy's sex tape. Anyway, you want to make sure you get your gasket in place. These are already been torqued, I think 150 inch-pounds, all right? We've got our handy little snap ring pliers. They look kind of like that. These make installing this really, really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and get this put on. You want to be careful with it because you get that bushing at the end of the tail shaft. You don't want to scratch that. All right. So once you get up to the bearing, once you're up tight to the bearing, you want to get your pliers in there and spread them apart. Just like that. That went right in there. Straighten your gasket out a little bit. There we go. Now these bolts will get torqued at 24 foot-pounds. All right. There's one bolt that's got maybe it'll have like a wire loom type of clip on it, and that goes around the top somewhere, I think. But or you can leave it off if you don't need it. You don't think you need it, but we're gonna run a neutral safety switch on this, so we'll probably use it. All right, so we've got our tail shaft bolts torqued to 24 inch-pounds. We put our little access plate with a fresh gasket on and torque these down. I'm not sure what the torque spec is on those. Just tight, I guess, for the most part. Here you can kind of see the importance of this offset, how it needs to be placed toward the back. And this is probably idiot proof as far as a 904 goes. I don't know if 727, if you could get that wrong on a 727, but for the most part, you're not going to have an issue with a 904, I guess, set up like this here. So we still need to check our end play, all right? And if that needs adjustment, we'll have to take this pump back off, okay? And then we can adjust it with I believe the washer, or the thrust washer, the little thrust washer on this end of the output shaft. And I've got a couple of them. They're selective sizes. So, but this is gonna probably be all right, okay? So next thing we're going to get after is our valve body. All right. So, and we do have some band adjustments. We're going to go ahead and adjust these according to what the instructions tell us to do, okay, for this. So this is going to be a little more involved doing this. This will take a couple hours probably. So far, you know, as far as like the cleaning took, or just the taking it apart was took about a half hour. Cleaning all the parts was 2 to 3 hours. And then rebuilding everything probably was another 2 or 3 hours so far. And then throwing everything together was about an hour, I suppose. It was probably twice as long as it was to blow it apart. But, you know, you're going to easily do this within, probably 8 hours, I guess, altogether, if you're doing just a relatively stock rebuild. So, if you got a weekend or whatever, you can get this done. So, all right. We'll be back next for the valve body. All right. We'll see you then.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon.
Got me! Oh my goodness. He treated me. He gave me a driving lesson courtesy of the Bad Tree production crew. I see the fucking guys over there jumping around like nuts. Oh man.